As you look on the screens that occupy most of your time, especially as someone who is at least half aware of what's going on, you notice a sinister pattern. It's extremely subtle to the recently initiated, but it becomes a snowball effect at which there is no denying. Hence, once you notice this pattern, it makes the unaware and uninitiated your enemy. Watching anything concerning any topic from what we would call the mainstream media seems as a personal attack on a man's freedom, perception, and sense of self-worth. Once you realize how much you would like to share your ideas, it feels as if you could establish a possible meeting place intellectually. This meeting place feels as a realm you could find common ground with others who may feel as you feel. For many, this place doesn't actually exist, but is a fairy tale wonderland made in the mind. This is the first step down the stairway into the mazed library that is your unconscious, and once you start this journey, it is impossible to escape. The next step in this sequence is an extreme amount of cope. You think you will be the one who will bring new enlightenment to people like you, looking for a way out from the outskirts back into the real realm, which is unfortunately dictated by what is fed to the masses through their screens. You are suppressed. You have been muzzle trained since birth. Why is it that such simple topics, such as why am I not represented correctly, come with such disdain, even from family, colleagues, and supposed friends? We have been made this way through an invisible conveyor belt that makes abstract, or that which was once deemed ordinary, now alien and disgusting. They think you have had your time since the beginning. The meek have inherited and decimated the earth. Well, our earth anyways. They don't want your ideas, even if they make sense. Your films, music, writings, and even architecture have been reduced to templates. Every single creative sense has been dulled, and we force feed ourselves mediocre slop as means to connect back to what is the new reality. We can barely stomach the foul garbage, but we become what we eat, as they say, and become a shell of our former selves. And where does the old self go? It is beaten and chained down deep inside of our own souls, forever screaming for release, but drowned out in the noise surrounding us. Sometimes it surfaces and projects itself in fear, anxiety, and anger. You are then gaslit for having ideas surface that push against the wretched machine. It is a super conglomerate that weighs more than the planet itself, as we have overfed it, hoping we will win the lottery of popularity if we appease it, and it will help us ascend. And what do I mean by ascend? Climbing the social hierarchy, being seen for something more than we are, and being able to share ideas in a way that doesn't feel as if it was murder. This is when you're trapped. Once you experience the nirvana of mainstream acceptance, it consumes you, as you are doomed to forever bend over backwards for your tiny morsel, which is acceptance of as many people as possible. Some people can farm people's energy in this regard. This is what we would call an influencer. Many influencers also live on a metaphorical foundation of sand. And just as sand on the beach over a certain area, it will fluctuate. This causes extreme paranoia and anxiety of said influencers. Followers come and go. This leads to exacerbating extreme measures in order to stay afloat. You ask yourself, but where does someone like me sit in this whole hierarchy? The answer is a microscopic part. As a young man, we're pushed to the far reaches of online public communication, passive-aggressively told to shut the fuck up. What is our treat for quieting down? A seat at the children's table, able to add very little, if any, creative input whatsoever. Dare you critique the contemporary person in any way? Be prepared for psychological warfare at the most heinous degree. How can one defend himself once he's pushed so far low? He can't.